there's two ways to look at this game right now. On the one hand, this was Steph's worst game of the season. I think we will both excuse Steph for he officially had a stinker. It's been 25 games into the season. He hasn't had one all year. He had one tonight. No, they're at 3 for 17 from the field, just generally lethargic. They played good defense on him, but like, come on, man, it's Steph Curry. You can be a little better than that. So, like, on the one hand, there's that. On the other hand, Tyrese Halliburton was not playing for the Pacers. They shouldn't need Steph to drag them to get a win, and that's kind of what happened tonight. Andrew Nembhard went off, and just a bad loss. And you're right, they do look like a play-in team right now. There's no other way around it. That's what they look like.
Exactly. Like, you look at this box score. Steph didn't need to play tonight. He shouldn't have played tonight. Draymond didn't need to play tonight. He shouldn't have played tonight. And Andrew Wiggins didn't play tonight. And it turns out they needed every single one of those guys if they wanted to win tonight's game. The Pacers scored 34 points in the first quarter. The Warriors came out absolutely unserious, which is fine. It happens. But what you want to do as a team, if you think you're a contender, is to be able to lock down and essentially put the game away when it does matter, right? They cut the lead down to a tie game essentially late in the second. The Pacers score again. They have the lead late in the fourth quarter, and they lose it and get blown out again. And you watch those minutes, and, you know, at the end of the day, the Warriors are a championship team 6 months ago. But you look at this team right now and you watch them play in the regular season, they're the exact same team that I watched 2 years ago when they were a playing team. That's what they take. They need Steph Curry to play otherworldly to essentially just be a great team. And they need that from night to night. You shouldn't, and they were at home, right? You just shouldn't need this.
Let me ask you a question. Is the difference between the Warriors winning a title and being a play-in team as simple as 2 to 3 bench players who fit? Because when I look at the Warriors, 2020 and 21, it was, I mean, Steph was best player in the world level, which, I mean, he still is. Disregard tonight, right? But the pieces didn't fit, right? Like, you know, Wiggins fits, Looney fits, Draymond fits, but like, you know, the Oubres, the Wisemans, the Wanamaker, I forgot about Brad Wanamaker. Like, those guys don't fit. 2021-22, Otto Porter, Bielitsa, GP2, perfect fits. And then all of a sudden it turns into this roster, the chemistry goes, and, you know, they win a title because they're that good. This year, to me, it's not as bad as 2021, but it's definitely closer to that than last year.
Correct.
Correct. You know, JaMychal, I want to root for him, but he's just not Otto Porter. Anthony Lamb, I get why he plays so much, but also he's a dude they found in the G League 2 weeks into camp. And there's a reason he was available. I don't think he's the answer to anything they want. And beyond that, it's just like, you know, they don't have many guys. Like Kuminga, I thought was probably the only positive story of tonight. But my broader point, which I'm trying to get to with this, is they don't have those complementary pieces they had last year. And is that really the difference? Is that really what separates a play-in team from a title contender? Like, it's kind of wild.
It separates the play-in team from a title contender in the regular season. It separates why the Warriors are one game above 500 right now versus a team that probably should be at least 8 games. Like, they should be in the Phoenix Suns record because they're missing 2 to 3 rotation players that play the way the Warriors do. Right now, off the bench, they've got 2 guys that play that way. They've got Dante DiVincenzo that played that way. They've got Jordan Poole, so that's 2 guys. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. Kuminga's hit or miss. Today he was fantastic. Hit or miss. Moses Moody, right? You just went down the list. I'm not going to do it again. But Moses Moody, not that guy right now. And then you mentioned the other guys. So they have 7 guys. We got a chat here. Sam, we only have 9 players. No, they don't. They have 7. There's 7 players right now, and they are running them into the ground 20-plus games into the season, and the Warriors are still an 8 seed, which I think you can argue, you can blame that on whoever it was, but that's now where the Warriors are at. And you look at the road trip that's coming up and how tough it is. Steph played 38 minutes tonight. 38 minutes tonight. And I think that's just, That's unacceptable for a team that's just not going to be deep enough unless they get guys healthy to play the entire season and do it. They're 30 plus years old. And by the way, we're not even talking about what happened in the actual game. Like, we're not even talking about what they struggled with. We're not
we've
even
already
going to get
gone
there
like
yet.
existential.
Yeah.
Like that kind of speaks to it. So Steph went 3 for 17 tonight, and that puts his field goal percentage on the season at 50%. He obviously 3 for 7. He didn't hit his threes any more than he did his twos. Still at probably 42 to 43% on the season. And I think that kind of speaks to your point, which is Steph opened the season kind of as a flamethrower, and they're one game over 500. He's due for a spell where he doesn't shoot 60% on twos and 45% on threes, because if he did that for a full 82, no, that's not true. There'd always be some old dude in my mentions telling me some dude in the 70s who couldn't dribble with their left hand was better. But regardless of that, like, if he could continue at that percent, those numbers, he'd be just so much far and away better than any player in NBA history. Anyway, back to the point, because I'm digressing. He was due for this. And I think that's kind of the difference. Good Warriors teams can leverage bad shooting nights from Steph and still kind of win. Bad Warriors teams, they need 30 just to be in the game. And that's kind of how this team feels right now.
Yeah.
In some ways. We didn't mention Wiggins didn't play tonight. Do you think if Wiggins plays, they win?
Yeah, they do. But that doesn't matter.